Why do you take everyone? My mother and my brother.
One of the boys I met, his name was James, and he was like 11. And he was one of the first boys when I first showed up, like wanted to hold my hand, like show me around, give me a tour of everything. And we were walking around, and there's a little cemetery that's behind the nursery school that the kids used to be buried at. And he was showing me the different little headstones, and the headstones are so small, and you can just see that the burial plots are even smaller. And he was like, oh, that was James. He was in my cottage when I first got to Nyambani. Like, he had a different story for every kid because he remembered them. And from there, I was just thinking, you know, this is an 11-year-old who understands more than I do about, like, losing someone. Because he didn't want to show me the burial plots to, like, make me feel upset and, like, hopeless about the situation. He was like, I want you to go home and tell people at home about this. So he was, like, the smartest 11-year-old I've ever met. I knew after my trip at Nyambani that I would need sort of more help, and I couldn't do everything by myself. I couldn't sort of cure AIDS by myself or really fundraise a lot by myself. I needed help from my different classmates. And so sophomore year, I set up a sign-up list at like our club fair, and I had 30 girls sign up the first year. And so we started the first day. I explained why I wanted to start the club, and then how I wanted to focus on not only AIDS in Africa, but also AIDS in our area and around the country. Then we started to fundraise for Nyambani itself. And we sold jewelry that women had made who live right outside Nyambani in a slum called Kibera. These women make these amazing bracelets and necklaces, and so we sold that at my school and made $1,000, which went to pay for medications and clothes. I wanted to mesh what I'd learned in Africa with my life in DC. And we really wanted to focus on spreading more awareness in our school because a lot of girls thought exactly what I thought about it initially. AIDS was this sort of far-off, foreign disease that didn't really affect any of us or anyone in our community. And so that's what we really brought attention to, and how that wasn't the case, and how, you know, in DC there's thousands of people who are infected, and we have, you know, one of the highest rates of any city in the United States. I think the club and all our fundraising and you know, education and focus on prevention has really opened up the girls' lives, not only in the club but in my school in general. But there's a lot more to do. It's not something that can be just fixed by fundraising $1,000, you know, every year for like the Christmas gala. It's something that's going to extend our lifetime.